Tottenham Hotspur 2, Borussia Dortmund 0. Tottenham Hotspur pick up another 3 points in the Champions League, even though everything else is very much falling down around them. Welcome into Top the Perch. I am your host, as always, Nick Burt. After another just disgustingly awful weekend in the Premier League that saw Tottenham Hotspur fall to West Ham United 2-1. It was the belief that Thomas Frank was getting sacked on the weekend. That doesn't end up happening. He ends up managing today. And, of course, the Tottenham way, Tottenham Hotspur look absolutely phenomenal today. The first half was the best half of football I've seen from this club in months. There was actually fight shown in this team. I liked what I saw. It still kind of was there in the second half. It wasn't as much, but it didn't really matter as Tottenham had this game locked away after the first half. But like I said, just a awful few days because it just brings zero enjoyment whatsoever. So coming into a Champions League game, it's like, okay, what are we even doing here? What's kind of the point? And here we are now. We'll obviously get to the table talk where Tottenham sit in after this. But just like I said, the first half was absolutely incredible. 14th minute. It's a corner kick for Tottenham Hotspur, driven into the box by Pedro Porro. Goes near post, it was attempted to be headed out by Dortmund. Then it is Wilson Odobert who controls it at the far post, passes it back in, finds Christian Romero who puts it in the back of the net, giving Tottenham a 1-0 lead in this one. Yes, Tottenham with a lead just 14 minutes into the match. This is Tottenham have been doing quite well as of late on corner kicks like this. It was a difficult little build up at the beginning, but then Odobert got control of it, gets it to Romero, who's basically at the top of the 6-yard box, puts it in the back of the net. Nothing Dortmund could do about it. 1-0 to Tottenham. We get to the 24th minute. It is a questionable call. It is a foul on Borussia Dortmund, giving a free kick to Tottenham. Ends up going to a VAR check for the foul on Wilson Odobert. Turns out studs were up. Yeah, he kind of lost control of the ball, but I don't really know what he was doing with his legs. Studs up into the calf of Wilson Odobert. That is going to be a red card for Dortmund, and they would be down to 10 men for more than 60 minutes of this match. Just right around the 65-minute mark of playing down 10 men. And if they're... Obviously, this was a massive moment for Tottenham. Try take advantage here. It was kind of just a wait-and-see mode. And Tottenham start taking control of this game, and that's really all it was. We get to the 37th minute. It's Wilson Odobert again. He takes a shot, which kind of looks like a pass. It takes a weird deflection off Dominic Solanke, who's running to the near post. And it takes weird deflections, but ends up in the back of the net. Dominic Solanke, in his first start of the season, gets his first goal of the season, putting Tottenham up 2-0 on Borussia Dortmund. Again, like I said, it wasn't the prettiest of goals, but it finds the back of the net. And Tottenham would take a 2-0 lead going into the first half break. Obviously, outside of Wilson Odebert's just magic 2-assist first half, Jed Spence. Oh my gosh, what a half from him. He he wasn't playing that left back position today. He was playing more on the wing, which was a little shocking. He looked phenomenal. He looked absolutely phenomenal out there. Very impressive. I kind of couldn't believe what I was seeing at points in this match, just given where Tottenham Hotspur have been the past month and a half, 2 months. We go second half. There's not a ton to report home about with this half. Dortmund had a few chances in there, but they really never were materializing to anything. This is a massive, massive victory for Tottenham Hotspur, a win that they desperately needed. And they get it. They get the win. They increase their home winning streak in European competitions to 24 matches. I believe they've won 20 of those and drawn 4 of those. That just insane to say. It is absolutely insane to say that Tottenham are obviously at this point. Silly that we're here, but hey, not going to complain. Like I said, we were going to talk about the table. Right now, Tottenham Hotspur sit 4th in the Champions League table. They are above the defending champions and the team we've already played in the Super Cup, PSG. Again, just funny that we turn into, prime Real Madrid or prime Barcelona when we get to the Champions League, but when we're in the Premier League, we look god-awful. It is what it is. Happy with 3 points. Tottenham will finish out match week 7 in the top 8 spots. There's no way they can drop below 7th, I believe, heading into the final match day next week. Let's get into the player ratings here. Dominic Solanke, as I mentioned, his first start of the season, earns a 7.8. He got his first goal of the season. Again, it was, like I said, a little weird deflection, and it wasn't fully intended. But goals are goals, and they're credited where credit is due. Dominic Solanke earns a 7.8 today. Got subbed off. I'm assuming that was just, obviously, minutes restriction coming back from injury. I mean, he hasn't played in what feels like forever. 7-8, really good game from Solanke today. As I mentioned, Jed Spence played on the wing today, the left wing, that is, and he looked outstanding out there. 7-7 for him. I thought he had an outstanding performance. Is this something that we're going to do more full-time? I hope not, because this may be a one-time thing. And I don't trust Thomas Frank. As much as today's win is nice, I do not trust Thomas Frank at all with anything. So we'll get into that in a minute. Xavi Simons plays in that prime, center position today. That center midfield, center forward-ish, whatever you want to call it. 7-9. Looked really good out there today. He had a few good moments, a few shots that he just skied like they were field goal kicks. It's coming, though. I feel like it is coming with Xavi Simons. Wilson Odegaard is your man of the match. 9-1 today, 2 assists. Absolutely dominating on that right wing. Absolutely incredible match from him today. I am just so pleased with what I saw. Just phenomenal. Phenomenal from Wilson Odegaard today. Then we get the 2 youngsters playing in that defensive midfield-ish positions in Lucas Bergvall and Archie Gray. Lucas Bergvall earns a 7.8 today. Archie Gray earns a 7.5. I thought it was decent performances. I mean, obviously they're playing decent competition, so when you have good performances like that, hopefully it's building confidence. I know Bergvall came off a little bit early. Obviously, I hope that's not a re-aggravated injury, because if it is, that's just another to the list today. Archie Gray Picked up the only yellow card for Tottenham today. Still thought he did pretty well in that midfield position, earns a 7.5. Destiny Udogie plays in that left back position today. Earns an 8.3. Thought he did really well. Him and Spence kind of teaming up on that left side. Really well played out. Really liked what I saw there. Kevin Donzo earns a 7.6, stepping in for the suspended Mickey Van de Ven due to, I don't even remember if it was red card or yellow card accumulation. I almost want to say it was yellow card accumulation, but again, it feels like so long ago that I'm not really sure. He was suspended. I know that for a fact. It was not an injury. He was suspended. Christian Romero, I believe he came back from suspension as he didn't play the last time out against Slavia Prague. Earns an 8.4 today. He gets the first goal of the game. Obviously, that would be the game-winning goal. Very, very good performance from him today. He earns an 8.4. And Pedro Porro, a good day, very, very good day from him. Earns an 8.2. Similar to Udogie and Spence, him teaming up with Wilson Odobert on that right side, that was beautiful to watch. Just very good game all around there. And Vicario closes us out 7-7. He did make a few saves in this one to get the clean sheet. So let's take a look at the subs. We have Byfield, the now youngest ever player for Tottenham Hotspur in a European competition. I believe it was at 17 years and 70 days, something along those lines. He earns his first cap for Tottenham Hotspur. He will be legacy number 902. Earns a 6.8 today. I think he played a little bit more than what people were expecting time-wise, and that was because Bergvall going off. It is what it is. It's his first performance. It's in a European competition, and it's against, a big club like Borussia Dortmund. Earns a 6.8. That was pretty well. Kolo Muani, 6.4. He came on for Dominic Solanke, and like I said, I'm pretty sure that was just minute restriction type thing. There wasn't any need for him to be chasing goals out there today. Tottenham were already 2-0 up, kind of locking down defensively by that point. No real reason to chase it. It was a fine performance today. Thomas Frank gets an 8, but again, I do not trust him. Just one game is not going to mask what we've seen in the past months. And that's a problem. That is a big problem. So Tottenham Hotspur will play again on Saturday against Burnley. They travel to Turf Moor. Burnley in the relegation zone right now, which shouldn't matter for Tottenham, given, we should be winning these games. Well, we just played West Ham, who are in the relegation zone, and lost. So the fact this is an away game, though, probably helps Tottenham. We know their record away has been phenomenal this year. So who knows? But I don't even know if it's a question of who will be managing at this point. I think it will be Frank, and then when we lose 1-0, we'll be in the same position all over again. I don't know what you do at this point. I feel like smoke signals are saying Pochettino is kind of, if he wants it, it's his. And he's not leaving the U.S. job before the World Cup. There's zero chance whatsoever that happens. So there's going to have to be a summer move. I just don't know how sustainable it is to keep Thomas Frank until the summer. I do not believe it is sustainable at all right now with the results we've seen. Right now, the only competition we're playing for is the Champions League. And boy, would it be funny if Tottenham Hotspur did something in the Champions League this year. They're not going to, but we're out of both cups. We're clearly out of the Premier League picture. We may not even be in the picture to get a European spot at this point. I don't know what the answer is at the managerial spot, because days like today are going to mask some problems, and we all know that. that's how this was going to play out. Tottenham Hotspur, who have never lost to Dortmund, I believe it is now 5 games, 5 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses against Borussia Dortmund all time. We always knew this was going to happen. It'd come out, they'd look really good, and all of a sudden it's, we cannot replace him. We cannot. He cannot be replaced. Coming from Vianney, Vegetation, and Johan Lang. Perch doesn't matter anymore, given that he's out in February. I don't know what the answer is. It will be very interesting to see what the answer is. I'm not convinced there is an answer. And if, Thomas Frank is sacked in the morning, I will be a little shocked, honestly. But it kind of deserved. The problem is, who are you bringing in? We saw Man United. They're going the interim route until the summer, which makes 100% sense. Who are Tottenham Hotspur going to bring in interimly? I don't know that answer. Who is going to get Tottenham Hotspur to play their best brand of football for the final 4.5 months, 5 months of the season? I don't know. I don't have that answer. I will be very interested to see if somebody finds that answer because, again, we have a match on Saturday against Burnley. Will be very interesting to see how that plays out. So this is going to wrap it up for this episode of Top the Perch. Thank you so much for watching. If you just stumbled across this video, click like, click subscribe, tell anybody you know about it. We'll be back on Saturday. Maybe. If it's another dreadful performance, there's a chance it's a no-show. Just putting that out there. So thank you so much for watching. We will see you again soon for another episode of Top of the Perch.